Welcome to xYOUTHGROUPx. This is our 4th episode, and this one is going to be pretty much about how old we are. We're going to talk about 20-year anniversaries. A lot of our favorite records have already started turning 20. A lot of them are on the verge of turning 20. There's a lot of reasons that a band would choose to tour a 20-year anniversary record or restart, revitalize their band for a 20-year record. There's a lot of bands that have been going the entire time, and they're using something like a 20-year anniversary to re-engage fan bases. Yeah. Or there's a lot of bands that I know this isn't in the youth group space, but Mayday Parade. Sure. Mayday Parade's been around kicking the whole time, right? Oh, yeah. And they'll do something like, I don't know if they're doing a Lesson in Romantic. Well, that's 2027. Yeah. Let's actually go to Switchfoot because that makes a little more sense. I'm sure a Lesson in Romantics will get that. But for Switchfoot, they do Beautiful Letdown. And I would say there's probably a lot of people like me that for their last few albums.
There's not a lot of people like you.
No, there's not. All right. I was going to say the last few Switchfoot records, they're not bad by any means. No. They're just not the part of Switchfoot I'm the most interested in.
No, the part of Switchfoot that you fell in love with as literally a kid.
Right. But the important thing is that bands do grow, and that's okay, and bands change. But doing something like a 20-year reunion allows someone like me, probably not necessarily me because I'm in this space, but someone who listens to music and hasn't really listened to Switchfoot in years to come back and be like, oh, yeah, they're 20 years. I'll go see that record. Maybe they'll hear a new song there, like in the, after those bands will play like the full record, then they'll play a little bit. They might hear a new song and be like, oh, I want to go listen to that. Or they'll just re-engage with Switchfoot. So it's cool
to be there, right? Did you get to be there for the Ryman one?
Oh, yeah.
Were you shooting for RK?
Yeah, but I didn't get to see any of the Switchfoot. So
oh, that sucks.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
This is a whole different conversation. Okay. I'm still angry about that, but that's
continue.
Different.
I'm sorry.
Triggered. Yeah. Anyways, so 20 years of a lot of records. A, that means we're old, like I said earlier. But B, let me ask this. Why do you think I'll start with you.
Oh, of course.
If you're, okay, I don't have to.
No, it's fine. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
If you're a band that hasn't been around, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Britney Spears' Toxic.
Okay.
I was thinking about that.
It's a great answer.
Thank you. I was hoping that
honestly
that
you stole
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to make this kind of tough for you to figure this out, but we'll see.
Thanks.
You're Toby Mac.
Mm-hmm. Tobith.
You're Tobith Mac. Mm-hmm. You've still got everything you've got going on.
Yep.
But people like us have no interest in Toby Mac anymore. Mm-hmm. Do you?
I haven't listened to Toby Mac in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like I saw something recently where like he was featuring with I forget some of the, maybe it was like Andy Mineo or something like that. I can't remember, but I was like, he is still doing things.
Oh yeah,
I forget that
he's still kicking. No, he's still doing things, but he's just not doing things that it would appeal to people like us.
Yeah.
So, what year did Momentum come out?
I don't know.
I want to say it was like 2005. Will you look that up? Just for argument's sake, let's say it's 2005. Mm-hmm. It's 2025. Mm-hmm. It's your 20 year of Momentum. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be like, okay, I want to re-engage.
2001.
Wow. Okay, what year was Diversity?
Where's that? Was it like 2003?
Or 2004? I don't know. Dude, that was, wow. I did not expect that.
You're doing great. You're doing
2004.
Great.
Okay, Diversity.
Okay.
My favorite Toby record. It's 2020. Now you're on the 20 year of that.
Yeah, you have 24, 25.
Why would you re-engage that? And you're going to counter, why would you not? Why do you?
Oh, dang. I liked the why would you not better.
Well, I'll switch with you because I like why would you?
Okay.
I mean, I feel like the why would you answer is easy because just as you were saying, I don't listen to Toby Mac anymore.
Right.
But if I saw that Toby Mac was doing the first thing that would happen when Toby Mac announces we're doing Diversity 20 year is Ryan's going to text me and say, "Hey, we're going."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is very true.
That's what's going to happen.
I bought all of your tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally go see that again. But I'm not listening to. I don't know much that Toby Mac has done since then. Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Yeah, Portable Sounds is about where I left off.
Yeah. Yep. And that's not. I can't even say that's because I don't like it. I just stopped listening to it for whatever reason. But, I mean, obviously, it would be a lot of throwback people, a lot of people that were younger at that time that really got attached to that album. They would come back, maybe hear those few songs like you were saying. I think that you could definitely re-engage some people. And I think what's cool, because a lot of us have kids now, that you also get to kind of pass that down to a younger generation and introduce them to, I don't know, something different. Specifically with Toby Mac, I feel like it's such a genre bending act, you know?
So let me ask you this, since you're the defendant here.
Yeah.
Why, if you're an artist that's continually pushing forward, like Toby is, why, and if you're someone like Toby's has to be the right example here, because you're someone that has success, why do you feel the need to go back to maybe recapture people that you lost along the way?
I don't know that it's necessarily like, oh, we have to do this. I think it's a choice that's like, do we want to do this? Would it be cool? Yeah. You have to be into some of the nostalgia yourself and understand that. I think Toby Mac probably wouldn't do it in this specific example.
I know for a fact he wouldn't.
I think that
I've asked. He won't.
There's, someone like this that was maybe into that, or I think, Mayday Parade's even a good example, even though it may be outside of the time range or whatever, with that specific album, that I feel like that they capture or recapture some of that audience. It's not that their audience doesn't exist or they're like desperate for it, but for sure you want more people. I mean, especially with as little as Spotify pays.
So why would you not do it?
Permission to cross-examine. Thank you.
Wait, what are you supposed to say? I just watched Lincoln Lawyer. What am I supposed to
remember.
say? Oh, Your Witness.
Oh, yeah. Honestly,
Lincoln Lawyer is great. You should watch that show.
It's a great show, yeah.
Suits? Anybody?
Yeah, but I just watched Lincoln Lawyer.
Okay, I like Suits. Just saying.
Cool.
I feel like
Oh my gosh.
my dad really liked the show Jag.
Hey, me too. Me
Did
and
you
your
really?
dad, yeah, we watched it together some.
Oh, it's awesome. We watched Magnum PI and Knight Rider.
Would you get to the topic?
Okay, sorry. Honestly, I feel like, especially in Christian world, I feel like they think if they announce that they are going to tour a record that's 20 or 25 years old, that a lot of people would insinuate it's a instant cash grab, because who's not going to want to go see that? And which is fine. I'm just saying, from like the brain of like an artist, I could get all super pumped up about re-envisioning stuff that was amazing back then, and how can we make it even better now with updated, I mean, you think about it, I mean, they're huge tours, right? So updated front of house, updated everything could be updated and be better than it's ever been on a live aspect. Minus if you're aging, and you're feeling like you're not.
Can't do them backflips no more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Bro,
like,
he might could.
He
probably could.
He got the juice.
He probably could. But I feel like
Got
maybe
that daggone cortisone shot in his knee.
in your brain, you don't want to be perceived as a cash grab, but also, I mean, I would assume that Toby has done very, very well for himself too. So does he have to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just the argument of that was 10 Tobys ago, like that was me a long time ago, and that's not who I am anymore. But at the same time too, I understand where Taylor's coming from. Like, I feel like it would be really fun. You've left it for 20, 25 years. You haven't toured it or played those songs in probably 10 to 15 maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if he has it. When's the last time he toured? I don't even know.
I think he plays shows semi-often, but from what I have seen online, the only song he plays that's even semi from that era is Made to Love, which is Portable Sounds.
I admit I loved you.
Yeah, great song.
Great song.
The reason I bring this up and I wanted to start this discourse this way is because I'm sure over the next, we started, when we were on the way here, I was talking about 2023 to 2025.
Right.
But you said when you were looking through the list, you're like, man, 2025 has got some heaters. Wait till we get to 2006, 2007. Like, incredible albums. And there's going to be some albums that will not get playthroughs, that will not get anniversary tours, and it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But I guess the part of the conversation in my mind today was just talk about, like, why would some bands do it?
Well, hopefully one day we'll get to ask him. Why does he not want to do things like that?
I asked if we're talking about Toby specifically, Brad Moist is the A&R at Goatee, and I asked him forever ago. I was like, "We ever gonna get a Toby thing?" Toby is one of those guys. This is all secondhand knowledge. Toby's one of those guys that doesn't care about nostalgia really. So he's not a very nostalgia-driven guy. And I honestly think most artists, to a degree, like are that way. Especially like if you're like the OG in that space, if you're one of the people that were around in the early 2000s, like you're looking forward, not looking back, opposed to people like us that are just consistently looking back.
Well, and I think, one thing that a lot of people maybe don't consider is the fact that, as an artist, I feel like everything that you make, everything that you create, to an extent, there's going to be outliers, but you think that the new stuff is like your best yet.
Yeah.
Like you're not
100%.
trying to write worse stuff. And you're not like, oh yeah, we're going to put out this record. And
I can look at demos from
sucks.
last week and be like, oh my God, I'm so much better than I was 7 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. And so
someone should tell Casey Musgraves that.
So you don't feel
Shots fired.
you don't
I
necessarily
said what I said.
feel like that. You're like, why do I could see not wanting to go back and play the old stuff because it's like, man, this stuff is so good. Like the new stuff. Like, why don't I want to tour the new stuff? I want to play the new stuff. I don't want to keep going.
I have a
back.
serious question about that though, because I remember showing Casey Toby Mac for the first time because she didn't grow up listening to CCM stuff, and I'm like, no, you need to understand.
That honestly makes sense.
It does make.
She's a heathen.
It's kind of like awesome that she doesn't though, right?
Sure.
It's kind of awesome she wasn't like entrapped by a WoW CD and her mom's car. Like that's cool. But I remember. And I was showing her, what's the one where it's like Mexican Filipino Jesus freaks? What song is that? Boom, da, da, boom, boom,
Boomin'.
Boomin'. Thank you. Sorry. Good
Sorry,
Lord.
Emma.
I was laughing so hard because I showed her that song, and half her family is Filipino, and I was like, I like froze for a second, and I was like, can he not? Is it cool to sing that still, or would it be something that is not accepted these days?
Yeah.
We're going to get into that more in just
You know
a
what
little
I'm
bit.
saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to talk
interesting.
about some of that more in a little bit. But as far as 20 years go, so what are some, I'll start with you, Taylor.
Yeah.
What's some records you wish that haven't done their 20 years or that we haven't got there yet or that didn't happen? Like, what are the ones you would be excited
I'm going to need a list.
to see?
Honestly, and this is like just being 100% real, it would take a lot for me it would have to be a very specific set of albums that I would go see. I'm still kicking myself for whatever anniversary we missed and that we didn't go see The Question.
That was 10 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that.
I have to tell this story.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember it was right before I got married.
I think so, yeah.
And Taylor calls me or texts me or something and says, hey, I have tickets to go see A Lesson in Romantics 10 years. Do you want to go with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll go. And at that point in time, this is 2017, so we're deep into our 1975 phase, deep into, Whitsett's making beach music. Like, I'm not really randomly listening to emo, but not like continually. And I remember we go watch, they play the record all the way through. And then I was like, all right, are you ready to go? And you were like, well, I want to hear 3 Cheers for 5 years. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll stay. And I remember us leaving. Do you remember what I said to you?
No.
We were leaving and I said, isn't it crazy that people still listen to this music and people still dress like this?
Yeah. No, for sure.
I
Yeah.
remember I've thought about that ever since because the irony here is really
Yeah.
funny to me. But that's
Maybe they were onto something.
well, I was going to say that's kind of my point here is there's a lot of people that would go to an anniversary of A Lesson in Romantics. They'd be like, man, I haven't listened to Mayday Parade in 10, 15 years. And that could reignite something. So that's why I think a lot of bands decide to do this with that, at least consciously in their brain of if Emery does The Question this year, which they are. So it's like if Emery does The Question this year, how many Emery fans would go? When's the last time you saw Emery?
I've never seen Emery.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll go to The Question.
I would love to go see The Question. I think the last one was like at a skate park, and that was just so outside of
It was in Raleigh. I remember.
my vibe at that point that I was like kind of torn on whether I wanted to go and do it, because it had been forever since I went to a show like that.
Yeah, that would have been 2015.
Yeah, and yeah. So, anyways, it would have to be it would be a very short list of albums. I know earlier when we were looking, I think 2006 maybe. No, 2005 is what we looked through, and that was like From Under the Cork Tree. I think that was on there, and I would love to go see that. However, last time that I saw Fall Out Boy, they did some of those songs, and
What are you saying?
it just, I don't know, it's just not. It's not. It was also in a. If Fall Out Boy does something like that, it's going to be like arena, and that's not the same.
I was going to say, music like that is tough in an arena. I feel like sort of the only exception to the rule, and I haven't seen this firsthand, so I can't yes or no it for sure. But I feel like everyone still has a great time seeing Blink in an arena.
Yeah, sure. Maybe.
Just because part of that is just Tom saying insane things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't go.
I wouldn't either.
I would we almost went to see Blink because I almost had tickets for free or for like $30 for like pit seats.
Right.
That I would have totally gone to. There's like a threshold of like, I'll pay this to go
Sure.
to this. But other than that,
Yeah.
Big what?
I kind of like hip hop in an arena
oh, that's fair.
It's pretty wild.
more than emo or rock music.
Honestly, I just go to see comedians. Like Gabriel Iglesias
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
last arena
Yep.
show I went to.
Yep. Same.
What's your 20-year that you are anxious to see?
I don't know, man. That's the problem is I don't even like going to shows.
Yeah, that's
It's like all of our, at least my life is nonstop that. So it's always like people are like, you want to go see this? You want to go see this? And I'm like, not really. I'm sorry.
yeah.
But what is actually hitting 20 years this year? I mean, isn't there an RK record this year hitting 20?
No, it was last
It
year.
was last year. Yeah, that
if
would
they
have
tour
been
it,
one.
it'll be this year.
That would have. I mean, that absolutely for me would be one that I'd be like, all right, we're figuring this out. But honestly, I would not want to see them at home, like here home in NC. If you don't know, we're filming in NC a couple episodes since Rye's home. Which,
Wait.
by the way, Rye, can I interject something?
I hope not. But go
No,
ahead.
I talked to Josh this morning about this, but I
Pork
love that
chop?
I talked to Pork Chop about this morning, and
Oh.
I love how much you genuinely love your grandfather Richard.
Ooh,
I really
love
did.
the way
I see. I knew he'd make an immediate. he get. No, I'm serious. So I'm glad you're home, and I'm glad you're home for that because Richard's the freaking champion of champions.
Oh yeah, my
Yes.
grandfather's having knee surgery, so I'm hanging out. So
Yeah.
we're doing.
I'm glad you're here for that.
He lets us
That's-
practice in his garage.
He does. No, he
He's
built a
practicing.
whole new
just-
sub garage.
Bro, this man builds garages for no reason.
He really
but
does. I love it. He's
We
the
could talk about
man
that,
of the
but-
people. No, I don't think I would want to see. I wouldn't want to see here. I think I would want to like be in Nash with you guys. Like it
That'd
would
be
be
fun.
like I'd rather see it there, knowing that the main guys are there, and I think it would just be a whole lot more fun going to town and see it. There.
All right, this might completely exile us from ever getting an opportunity to play with this band, but I'm going to ask this question anyways. How do you guys feel about Anberlin touring Never Take with Maddie
So
as an album playthrough? Let me preface this by saying I like the Maddie era. I think it's different than Steven, but I think it's cool. Drew from
Yeah,
May never listened to Anberlin, saw them first with Maddie, and I think he liked it.
Yeah, I mean, his biggest thing was like he was like honestly, it was a top notch vocal for that genre.
Yeah,
for some.
Maddie's a killer vocalist.
The biggest thing that he said in Maddie's praise was when he came out. He said, "What's up, guys? I'm Maddie, and this is Anberlin." He didn't think
Yeah.
he didn't try to say like take Stephen Christian's place. He just came out and was like, "What's up, guys? I'm Maddie. This is Anberlin."
that's
Boom.
cool.
But if you're doing something like that he's a filling guy. Like I don't know if Steven's ever going to come back, but I think there's obviously still going to be recordings with Steven. I don't want to put that rumor out there.
Have we ever seen where there's a studio vocal and then there's a live vocal and they're separate? Because I know we see that all the time with like players, but do we ever see that with a front man? Because that's pretty crazy when you think about it. It's like you capture the character of it through a vocal on a record, and then he never tours it, which I'm not saying is right or wrong.
Sure,
it's just
yeah.
interesting. It's an interesting thought.
Usually not, but
It's
anyways.
a tenured thing for sure.
So for a normal performance, you're just going to go play Anberlin songs. That's totally cool. Where it gets weird is when you start thinking about an album because you can put a place and a time and a vocalist.
So that's what I was gonna say. Even before you brought this up, I was almost about to stop you before you moved on. I'm glad I didn't. But I think that as as tough as it would be for me to go see one of those reunion shows or playthroughs, I think that I would definitely not go if it's not the same cast, same lineup, because. I don't know. We also grew up in the time where music videos were the thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm picturing that the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That's a cool point.
Like,
Yeah.
going to see, I don't know when this came out, but the Red Jumpsuit album, Don't You Fake It.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to go see that album. That would be one of the ones that I would go see. It would have to be all the same guys. And I don't know. How many times did I watch that video?
Yeah.
The same with, I would want that for Under Oath. I think Define the Great Line is 25.
Oh, yeah. Before you even jump in the comment section, Dallas is the original Under Oath. I don't care. Under Oath is better with Spencer anyways. If you disagree with me, go look at the streaming data. What a dumb point. I like the Dallas era, but Dallas is never going to come back. They're never going to do 20 years of active depression. Like, that's never going to happen. Stop crying in the Furnace Fest community group. It's never going to happen. If anything was going to happen, it would have been they did When the Sun Still Sleeps Together. Did you see that video?
No, I didn't see that. No, yeah, you did show me that.
Yeah, it was sick. It was awesome. That's it. That was a motorcycle.
My God. Hear the girth on that thing?
Harley story on that.
That sounds like a great segue for us to thank our sponsors for today's show.
Okay.
We like to thank Truth Social
Oh
for
my
keeping
God.
social the truth.
Oh, God. That is not our sponsor. Oh, my God. Zach Gehring is going to kill us.
I've been holding that in for a while.
That's really good.
I've been waiting.
That was really funny. I'm so sorry, Zach Gehring. You have Pig's number. Just call it.
I know.
Hey,
Love you,
I'm
dude.
looking at the list, and one that I saw that I would be like, hey, I would go see this because
Okay.
I think it would be in a small room, like a Cat's
500,
Cradle,
okay.
that kind of a room. Cartel doing Chrome.
Oh, Chroma. Yeah.
Whoa.
I would go see that in a small room.
Yeah.
You know how I was introduced to Cartel? Apparently,
$25 is
I always
my
had this like funny fake thing where I do like this when I play guitar, like as a joke.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone would always be like, "That's the most Cartel thing I've ever seen." I was like the Mexican Cartel, and they're like, "No, it's a freaking band." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll go listen to them."
You said $25 is your max?
I think $25 would be my max, yeah.
I'm pretty sure tickets for us in May were 30.
Well, I mean, I'm saying my max to go see Cartel and Cat's Cradle would be $25 max.
Okay.
Oh, can we go back to your original question you asked Taylor about whether
I wouldn't see
whether
us
it's
for 20.
Maddie or Stephen Christian up front?
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
I think I would side with Taylor on that just because I did get to see them with Stephen Christian at Furnace Fest. And I think people seem to be saying that Maddie seems to be a little bit more vocally healthy. Because I know Stephen
for
Christian
sure.
had some stuff. I think, didn't he have some things happen with vocal cords or something?
Okay, I don't know if this is a rumor or if I'm even supposed to say this. From what I was told and understand, that COVID just kind of messed with his voice and or like I guess maybe it's stamina or something, some sort of complication with COVID, and he's never been able to like fully bring it back.
I
Steven,
believe
if
that.
you watch this and I'm saying that correctly, I'm so sorry. But that's just what I heard, and I guess it kind of makes sense because I know, dude, we had a good friend of ours who was like hospitalized, almost dead.
About dead.
Yeah, so like
It changed it, and honestly, as a kid who like inherently has had sinus issues, like COVID was very odd. Like it was like a continual cold for me because of how much I was inside. And everybody's like, "Oh, they went outside and took walks," and like, no, like I worked 12-hour days trying to get content going, and so I understand that 100%. I feel like it took forever to recover in general, but
I know some people that never got their taste back.
I lost my smell would adapt to whatever the strongest thing I smelled was for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time. It was
When do you get your brain back?
well, I'm waiting for that. That's a 2026 thing. I'm waiting. I've been believing the Lord for that
Circled
for
on
a
the
while.
calendar.
I did not see too many videos from Maddie with when Drew saw them and stuff like that, and I heard some stuff, and I think he sounds pretty good. Yeah. But I think the energy that I saw Stephen Christian bring as just an absolute freaking unit of a dude, like it's unmatched. Like the guy is just a monster, and he is full of freaking energy. But it's like it's the energy of like heck yeah, we created this so long ago, and here we are still getting to even do this. And I don't even remember if it's full lineup of band stuff. Band members changing out doesn't really bother me a whole lot, because sometimes I think that's okay. And I think, we live in a world where there's session people and then there's live people, and whatever, band's a band, who cares, whatever. But like, I think frontman is kind of hard. I would not go see Reliant K if Thiessen wasn't singing. Yeah. Not that he would ever freaking let that happen.
What if it was me and Hoops just playing 5-score because Thiessen doesn't want to do it?
In a garage?
Yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
I'm also going to give a hot take real quick from that Furnace
I keep
Fest.
telling Hoops that we should just start a hardcore band because I think he secretly wants to.
At that Furnace Fest lineup that evening with MXPX, Amberlin, RK, and I can't remember who else there was before them. Thiessen vocally,
it's perfect.
Smashes everybody.
I know.
All day long. And
He's so
I
good.
care a whole lot about that. Like, I understand moving a lot, and it takes a lot, and having to be energetic and still hitting freaking stuff. But Thiessen, spot on.
That's another good point when you talk about 20 years of things. A lot of these songs are like 3 keys above what dudes sing now.
Are you willing to drop it down?
Yeah.
In order to deliver it.
Too.
Do what?
Some of them are a little chubby too.
Hello.
What does that mean?
You run out of breath. You get your breath. You're trying to move around, do things you couldn't do 10, 20 years ago, and now you're trying to do it with a little extra extra fudge bars.
Hey, man,
now everybody's just like,
love.
now we all got to buy drop pedals so we can go down a couple,
So let me ask this question: if you're on Spotify where you can comment, or YouTube, would you rather hear your favorite album just like in a different key? Like, I feel like the average listener can tell when something's down a different key. Maybe not a whole half step, but when you get down, like May does Invers and Envelopes in. I want to say he does it in E flat now, and he used to do it in G.
Oh, wow.
I did a cover of it one time, and I text Dave right after, like, how the hell do you sing this? It's like, how do you do this? And he was like, dude, we do it in a different key. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
He was like,
because I sang it in the original key in that cover. I was like, this is up there. What are they doing?
And he said, Ohio.
But I can't wait till we do our episode with Dave. That's going to be so much fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Dave's going to be
I'm
something.
excited. I miss Dave. It was his birthday the other day.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dave.
It was.
That episode is just going to be brought to you by DraftKings. But anyways, would you prefer as a listener to hear a band like just go for it in the original like key of these songs? And maybe it's not the best, maybe it is, maybe you catch a night where it's great, maybe you catch a night where it's terrible, or would you prefer to hear the like dropped version of a song?
It depends of chord shapes. RK couldn't do it unless, like, they couldn't do any more than a half step because of how driven they are in E shapes. You can always hear it. It makes the song, the sparkle of the key of E and the shapes that Hoops plays and stuff like that. Like, it makes a difference. Now, if we're talking like straight drive power chord stuff, I think you can get away with that easier. But when you have that nostalgic,
like, would you rather hear Amberlin a half step down or like two, or like maybe like a full key and a half down?
Yeah, their stuff would not bother me.
Yeah.
A half step down. RK, potentially, depending on if that sparkle was still there, half step down playing E shapes.
So I think it would be interesting with a lot of these bands that are fearful to come back, maybe because they're like, I don't know if I could do it at the same rate I used to, or I don't know if I could do this. We feel like, I guess the consensus, at least here, is just drop the key and play the songs.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if it was in a different key. Like I said, my big thing is like I want it to be with understanding as close to the original as possible.
Sure.
The key matters less to me than the people. And I would also want it to be I want it to be a little bit sweaty. I don't want I don't want to like have some nachos and a hot dog while I'm watching. I'd rather be like, in like an arena.
Oh, okay.
Some Bavarian nuts.
Love that.
We love the Bavarian nuts.
If they're not Bavarian, send them back.
Get them out of here. They're really good. You've had them. You've had them, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't eat
I know
nuts.
what you're talking about.
You can smell that you smell when you walk through a concourse all the time.
Oh, I smell popcorn.
Oh,
that's not a nut.
COVID.
I understand that, but I just go towards the popcorn smell.
I understand.
Or the Cinnabon smell.
Yeah, it doesn't smell that much different. Anyways,
Also, guys who are not currently touring that would have potential anniversary records and to play them out. In my experience, from friends and friends of friends, I'm not sure that a lot of people have the work ethic to get back up to.
Oh, dude, that's a great point.
Like, I'm not sure that I think people think that they either can just do it and then they either get sick or they lose their voice or just motor skill stuff. But like, I remember even when Beloved was coming back for that first Furnace Fest, Joe is one of the best drummers I know, and he kept going, I'm not in shape for this. And I'm like, you're freaking lying. And he's like, dude, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that's a whole different animal.
Worked his butt off to get back to it. And he's a guy who still was continually playing, just in a different genre.
Now, here's a
guy that really loves Truth Drums. And he was SJC. Sorry. Oops. Endorsement.
There's a lot of cool albums that we'll never even have the opportunity to see.
Sure.
Like if you think of the FM Statics, the Hulk Nelsons.
Yeah.
Hawk Nelson. Dude.
But man, that's why we got YouTube. Shout out.
But like it's
I'd rather watch that.
Well, you'd rather just relive.
Just make some Bavarian nuts at home and watch YouTube.
Taylor knows where to get those.
Yes. Yeah.
At the arenas. But it sucks because there's some of those albums that would be awesome. I mean, Diversity is like one, but like at least Toby's still playing. But there's no FM Static shows.
Yeah.
But you can go see 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Can you?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. I don't know if they're still playing any. I haven't seen anything from them in forever.
Yeah. I remember, dude, I'm so sorry. I know you either follow us on Instagram or follow along sometimes, but the guy from Cutlass, I cannot remember his name right now.
Micah Sumrall or something like that?
Did you say Tylenol?
Yeah.
Okay. I know he mentioned that Cutlass might come out with new music.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, but that's what I want you to play, or Your Touch.
Dude,
I would love to see that era of Cutlass again. But it's like if you're a band from that era. Okay, let me rephrase this. If you're a listener and your band, let's just use Reliant K as an example because I can make sense of it. If Reliant K is coming back, not doing these one-off random shows, they're coming back. Would you rather them come back?
You said if, right?
What'd you do that face for?
Trevor McNevin, 1,000 Foot Crutch, FM Static. Give me a shot at when you think he was born. This blew my mind.
When he was born?
I feel so old. I am old. When he was born, year he was born.
1988.
1978. Isn't that wild?
Whoa.
He's not coming back to tour because they've got
he's
a AA RP
14 years
sponsor.
older than us. Is that right?
46, yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh,
Isn't that wild?
He's 46?
46 years old.
Are we all 33 now?
I'm 34.
He's 34. He's already lived
I'm a
longer than
dad.
Jesus.
All right, you are dad.
You're not my dad.
You're not my dad.
Yesterday I was Silas's dad.
Yeah.
He kept
fine.
saying, he's like, we're getting off subject.
That kid's freaking
Sorry,
the best ever.
I looked up to see what they were still doing, and I said, well, he's probably on AARP. I don't know.
Lord. Okay, you said to make sense in your brain.
Oh, yeah,
if
okay.
Reliant K was consistent.
Okay, if Reliant K was going to come back and be consistent, would you like for them to come back as here's a new record, here's new music, or would you like for them to do here's 20 years, let's all meet and re-engage and like
both?
Which one do you want to happen first?
Oh, first?
Yeah.
I'm going to hot take.
Uh-oh.
When Switchfoot did their deluxe where they had their friends and people that they love do their own versions of their own songs, like the one where John Bellion did stuff and then Arcade did one, all that stuff. I actually thought that was freaking awesome because
genius.
I love OG sounds and like keeping something close to what it was. And the two ways that I love to see it be different is if you play normal arrangement live, but then you hit us with some plot twists for intros and outros, or you invite other people to help reimagine how they would have written your song. And I think that is freaking brilliant.
Yeah, that's cool.
We could do one.
Of what?
For Reliant K.
Oh, gosh, what would we do? Probably,
Do like an out of left field one.
Dude, actually, it'd be really fun. I don't think y'all would think I'd say this. A song I'd like to sing is More Than Useless.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
I'm a little
Yes.
more than useless.
absolutely.
But I'd like to like break it down and like, I'd like to
I'm
like.
gonna break it down real smooth.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'd like bring out a keys and like Nick Jonas song. I'm a little more than useless.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if
He's I still get jealous.
We gotta bring
Yeah,
back,
exactly.
We got to bring back 2016 Whitsett.
yeah, get my cord.
Your
back.
cord
Yeah.
with the tube in it.
But that was cool. Like the Jonas Brothers did the Switchfoot
Dude,
thing.
so cool, man. I don't care what you say. I just think it's freaking
No,
cool.
I thought it was great. I think more people should do some stuff like
Ryan
that.
saw the Jonas Brothers last year.
Dude, they were awesome. Honestly, it was one of the best shows I've ever been to.
Arena.
The arena.
Yeah.
Ryan's wife,
Nuts.
Erin, loves the Jonas Brothers.
Oh yeah, Emma loves the Jonas Brothers.
So does
too.
Emma.
But
Jane.
they were awesome. They used the whole arena. And now the funny part is I can tell when someone stopped singing live or when their tuner was catching it.
And what's
Yeah.
doubled behind him.
And what's doubled behind them. And Aaron was like, they're sounding so good. I was like, they're sounding pretty good.
They're sounding pretty all
They're
right.
sounding
Hold
pretty
on.
good. Nick is singing live. At
Oh,
least
yeah.
that night, I was like, Joe, he was doing a few things.
Yeah.
But they were awesome. It was a
Yeah.
great show.
That's awesome.
Honestly, dude, they would be cool people to have on this podcast because I don't know if you know this, and I'm going to pop this on the screen right now, but the Jonas Brothers are May fans. There's a picture of Kevin in a May is for Lovers shirt.
Really?
And I'm 99% sure this is the correct way this happened. Dave Elkin's dad went to college with
Their dad?
Joe Sr. I think that's his name. Or Kevin Sr. Kevin Sr. I don't know.
They were all
With-
church kids too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they're very into all of that stuff. Obviously, they have the Switchfoot connection. And
Yeah.
Switchfoot played that. Now, that was cool. Switchfoot played the arena show opening for the Jonas Brothers, which was kind of cool in L.A.
Fun show.
I can't remember who came. Oh, their dad came out. I was going to say, who came out when they played here?
There's also certain songs from certain bands if they were in an arena that I wouldn't want them to play, and songs I would want them to play.
Yeah.
So like, hit me with "Meant to Live" and then like "Hello Hurricane" in arena.
Hello Hurricane. would be cool.
Absolutely.
But like-
Sorry.
Stars in Arena.
Oh shit.
Okay, so that's a 2025.
Is it?
Nothing is Sound is 2025 or 2005. So if Switch was watching, if there was ever an album I think we would fit the best with Switchfoot playing with them, it would be Nothing is Sound.
Subtle.
'Cause
I like
that's,
it.
that's arguably their heaviest record.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll do that. I don't think they like doing the 20-year thing either. I could be wrong on that. I just get I got the vibe that they did.
I don't know because I haven't seen Switchfoot in forever. Do they play a lot of old? Like, they play a good mix of their songs through the years when they play still.
I believe so. Obviously, the little bit of them I saw that night was what did they open with? They opened with Ammunition.
Oh yeah.
And then I got to see like a little bit of the end when they did like a few of the other things, but
Yeah.
They tend to play stuff throughout the years for them. I mean, they've got a lot of good albums with a lot of good things.
Ton
But
of
I think a
bangers.
Nothing is Sound 20 years would be so sick.
So is this a very specific genre thing? Because anyone else who is a large touring act is going to play what people paid to see them play. And if it's a normal concert, then they're going to play all their hits.
Unless you're Kendrick at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think we have a good.
This
case
is.
study.
I'm not gonna like go into this real hard, but like, yo,
wish
if
you would.
you're playing
Seems like
the
you are.
Super Bowl,
I think he is.
He's going to.
just play
He
the songs. Like, why didn't you play All Right? Like,
He
I
just
was
made it the
so-
ultimate finale for the beef.
Oh, yeah, what I loved about it was the pettiness. I'm the pettiest guy.
Yeah, it seems like something you would do. which is
100%.
surprised that
You
are
you're like,
not.
why did
I'm
you
the
do
type
that?
of girl. I'm the type of girl. Well, pause.
Yeah.
Pause. I'm the type of
Clip
guy.
that.
that would-
Finally.
I'm
Please
the
clip
type
that.
of guy that would do like a whole set as kind of like to a girl. Like
Yeah.
I would totally.
Isn't that
do
what we
that.
I'm the
do?
type of girl.
No, I've been married for a long time.
That's what
but
our songs were for 10 years.
This is true. I would have totally done that. So the pettiness I get, but it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like Kendrick played cool songs, I guess, but like if you're hearing Kendrick for the first time,
Yeah.
I promise this is about to like connect. If you're hearing Kendrick for the first time on TV, like Richard, he was like, I was watching the game, and as soon as that rapper came on, I
Yeah.
didn't want to hear. I turned it
Yeah.
off. Well, I was like, dude, Kendrick's awesome. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting it. The problem is I don't think you heard near as close to the best of Kendrick's out there.
Absolutely.
So if you are Silas going, let's pretend for this example, Silas is 10. If you're Silas going to see 20 years of A Lesson in Romantics, do you want to introduce Silas to what you think the best of Mayday would be? Or like, not to say a bad thing about a record, but like, I couldn't even think of no, what's the record that came after Sunnyland?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard to say.
Like what, like would you?
To be honest, A Lesson in Romantics was the last one that I loved.
Oh, I like.
There were good songs on other albums, but
Yeah.
A Lesson in Romantics was the last album.
What's a perfect record?
Yeah.
But I think Sunnyland was good. Like as overall, like I think it was good. The problem is, as we talk about 20 years too, you just made a good point without realizing it. If you like go back and listen to these records, right? Okay, so if you're a Mayday, we'll use Mayday again as the example. If A Lesson in Romantics, the perfect record, we can agree, perfect record. You start to put everything else up to that record.
Sure.
And it makes it almost impossible for some of these bands to write anything good after that. Not that they're not, but you're just like, well, look at this. It's never going to be this. And you might miss out on good music. And I think a lot of times people do miss out on good music because they're like, well, they're just never going to write that record again. So,
Yeah, and that's kind of why I said what I said earlier about the bands thinking that the next thing that they write is the best, because I like empathize with that. Even though I'm totally one of those people that I'm like, that is the record, and this next record didn't give me the same vibes or feel as I don't remember what the next one was. Oh well, I don't know.
it was the green album cover. That's the one. That's what I remember.
Was.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And anyways, it just doesn't fit the same thing that the other album did, and I think that's I don't know. I'm not gonna listen to anymore when I can go back and listen to that one, but they think their new stuff is good. I remember hearing interviews of Mayday saying, like specifically about Black Cat, they were like, I can't believe anybody likes this song.
I love
and it
that
was
song.
like one of everybody's favorite, but they were like, who would have thought that this song would be, it was on like the album that they did where they like played the song and then talked about it,
Yeah.
And they were like, we thought this song was a joke and couldn't believe that we ever put this on the album.
And I think that honestly is a lot of thing for a lot of bands. Like I think some people are shocked that what blew up for them.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Like I really think that's the case. And like usually if, stupid example, if I'm rolling through demo land on my computer with a friend, and usually what someone will be like, that's my favorite freaking thing you've ever written. And I'm always like, really? Like how? Like I hate that song.
Dude, our top stream songs still don't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
What is it?
It was like Promise Kept is like our arguably most.
That's a plot twist.
Yeah, it's not what I would have picked, but I like the song. So
I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also have the moment too where, if you're going to bring something back after 20 or 25 years, I mean, I get tired of playing a song like 2 or 3 times in a row sometimes. And, it's like the whole like church concept of like, oh, you guys have played it 30 times because of all the rehearsals, run throughs. And all this
y'all
crap.
will kill a song.
We'll kill a song in the church. But it's kind of funny because it's like, bands just get tired because they feel like they're just, doing the same thing over and over and over again, which ironically is exactly what touring is. But I think it also another thing that makes us be like, oh, it's this record or nothing sometimes is because, I mean, that's the point of music, right? Like the place where those songs met us in life as kids or whatever was going on in our lives as kids, they meant something. There's records for me that we've talked about, and there's records for you guys that at a certain time in life, they just meant more. And sometimes it's not even the fact that sometimes it is the next new record does suck and it's not as good as the previous one. But then sometimes I think nothing's ever going to compare to what spoke to you in the actual moment and what an album meant to you. I just don't think it can compare.
I mean, God, Mayday, since we're talking about that, like, okay, so they toured Lesson in Romantics.
Hopefully you listen to Mayday Parade before.
Yeah, hopefully here they are. But, they toured Lesson in Romantics when it came out. I don't know how many dates. They weren't huge at that point, but they were
just starting
gain popularity. And so
RPJs.
they played all those songs, and they probably did that for a few years because it caught on and people really liked it. But then you put out a new album, you play, I don't know, 30, 40 dates with that new album at least, probably, because at that point they were very popular, but you still have to go back and play those Lesson in Romantics, at least bangers. You know, you're still playing those to give the people what they want. And then you have albums after that, and you're probably still playing one or two of those. I mean, Miserable at Best, they probably have played that song 50,000 times at this point, you know. And then 10-year anniversary, you go and do another 30, 40 dates of 10-year anniversary. You have to play all the songs over again. 20-year anniversary, you got to, and at some point, good grief.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I'll make 2 points, but to stay on Mayday, no, hold on, let me do that one first. Think about a band like Bon Jovi that's had like Living on a Prayer for, you know, almost 40 years.
Talking about Mayday Parade, we're talking about Small Fish for sure.
Dude, absolutely. Could you imagine having to play that song and you're not playing 40 shows in a year, you're playing 40 arenas in a month.
Yeah. And then they play it at your funeral.
Yeah. Wait, what? My other thing was going to be, and this is an interesting little divert here. So, Miserable at Best. I'm glad you said that because I was wanting to bring that up. So, if you look at a band from 20 years ago.
Miserable at Best.
Miserable at Best. If you look at a band from 20 years ago, they have these hits. Do you ever notice that bands will chase those hits?
You mean like try to write the same song again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's like the whole thing. I didn't realize that in like label world and when you have a full team, I thought that everything was planned to a T, but I never realized that as like a songwriter, you kind of hope to get like the second or third single released from a record coming out because I didn't realize that they let it ride. Mm-hmm. They don't say 6 weeks, 6 weeks. They're like, they wait until like what analytical data actually tells them from listeners, and
they've got stuff in the pocket.
Had no idea that was a thing, dude. Yeah. I don't know how I never knew that. But I mean,
it's all different for different, like, honestly, it's different for different marketing budgets.
Sure,
and it's different for different genres. But can you think of any like I have the example right now, but can you think of examples of bands trying to chase the successful song?
Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. Imagine that being your song, dude.
What's the backup? Like, what is he chasing with that? I was gonna say, Miserable at Best is the original, and Terrible Things is the chaser.
Sure, I feel like that they have 2 or 3 of on every record, and I think it's just because
they killed the piano thing.
Yeah, me and all the teenage girls that really like Mayday Parade love to listen to those ballad songs on the piano.
Oh yeah, I love to learn how to play.
Yeah.
Did I just lose your mug?
No,
we all just paused.
Oh, so good thing it's not. Anyways, but I think that creates an interesting situation because if you're looking at it from the perspective of a band who never stopped. And you don't want to make the same song again, but at the same time, you've got to figure out a way to keep people around, but by still okay, here's a great example. Under Oath. So Under Oath has a lot of new music out right now. It's controversial to say the least.
It's different.
There are elements of it. There's that Generation No Surrender song. I cannot stand the chorus of that song. The rest of that song is gold, in my opinion, which is why I listen to it a lot because the rest of the song outweighs the chorus to me. But I just don't like the chorus. But to me, there's elements of that song that feel very, oh my gosh, what is the name of the record after Define the Great Line? The one that Breathing in a New Mentality, that record. But there's just there's elements that, it's not disambiguation. Oh my gosh, what's the name of that record?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways,
that was my last one. Define the Great Line was my last one that I loved.
Oh, you're missing out. The record after that's really good. It took me longer.
Good songs. It's not a record.
That you forget.
I disagree.
Hey, I've got hot takes. It's all right.
Anyways,
I know what I like. You know.
But I just winked at you. Okay. I like that.
I liked that.
Are you wearing the shirt that we bought? You bought when we were together.
This is cute.
Is that the All Saints shirt? That
no,
you bought
I didn't buy one. You bought a shirt.
Oh.
No, I bought a shirt and you bought a shirt.
No, I didn't buy one. Remember?
Did Aaron buy a shirt?
No. Aaron bought a shirt.
I didn't buy.
What are we doing? We're in the middle of a podcast.
This is real. This is me. Exactly.
But people will take these elements from old songs, and my question is over the course of 20 years, are you doing that to appease fans, or are you doing that because you have a sound and you're trying to keep that sound. But that Under Oath song specifically, there's parts of that feel lost in the sound of separation to me.
Sure. If you name all the albums, you'll get
I knew I'd get there at some point.
Yeah. Eventually.
That feel that very like way to me. So how do you feel about bands trying to recapture magic, so to speak?
Sure. I mean, to an extent, we do that with every song that we write, right? So I get it. I get trying to, I feel like every time that we sit down to write, we're trying to write something new. And then we say, okay, does this sound like us? You know, does it still have Whitsett in it? And that's not to say that we're trying to give people or, do something that people will like because we feel like that they liked our previous songs. It's just, this is who we are as a band. This is kind of our core sound. And can we write this song and still be true to that without completely going into left field on people? Right. And, because we had a part in a song that was very,
I was at
poppy.
The right place at the wrong time. It's
very like Band Camino. We're still going to use it. Coming to you soon.
That's a joke. I was waiting for him to get mad at me.
No, it didn't really get further than a demo.
Yeah, well,
it was very Band Camino.
It was very Band Camino, and I think that it can still be used, but in the context that we had it, it just didn't feel right, Yeah. And I think I would just relate that to these other bands and writing new music. They're trying to write something that they like, something that they enjoy, and that is still somehow true to their DNA and a little bit about what people expect from them, I think, as a band.
I think that's great because at least from how do I say this? I'm getting to produce a bit more than I used to. And there is a very, very big difference when identity is known and direction is known, DNA is known.
He just said DNA earlier, and my brain is playing Kendrick. That's why I'm laughing. Go
on.
on.
Okay.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah. So I think there's all sides of the coin, right? Like, well, there's only two sides of the coin, but you know what I'm saying? In this moment, the coin has
unless you're the Chiefs,
hey,
and there's just one side of the coin.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like figuring out how to be true to who you are as an artist, and then also understanding what actually was received well by your audience, and at the same time, not try to insert algorithms into creativity. Not saying it can't exist and coexist, but I can tell you right now, writing songs with people who just want to write and then craft is a whole lot easier than writing with people who are like, it has to sound like this, it has to sound like this, and you feel like you're put in a box and you're just a replicator. So there's just a lot of struggle in that, dude, of just, it's a balancing act, right? Of just.
So that's what, so you would say, if for someone like an Under Oath, that I feel like to a degree they're happy with the music they're creating.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
I think they're just straight up in there like, we've been doing this for a long freaking time. We have the fan base for it, and so who cares if we take some freaking big risks every now and then, and we'll give them some winks to the past at some point, and they'll be okay. And which is true, because I would say in that genre that, you know, like we talked about with, I think we talked about with Joe, right, where just the fact that they're still going and the level that they're doing it at,
they're the top, is
crazy. And so I do think when people are, you know, I don't want to use, we can use Casey Musgraves. Like, no, we have to use Taylor Swift. I hate that I don't want to use Taylor Swift at all. But
what a loser.
What a loser. What a loser. But
we'll just quit our band.
But I know, I'm sorry. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift, and I don't like or dislike her music, but I will say she's kind of earned the right to do whatever the freak she wants to do.
100%.
Sure.
And sometimes as the artist, and you're okay with abandoning a fan base or taking the risk, I think you can do whatever the freak you want to do.
Well, dude, okay, you were going to say Casey. But with someone like Casey, with someone who comes out with like 3 great records in a row, you will give them the benefit of the doubt if the next record they put out is terrible.
So I'm assuming we're talking about the Deeper Well record, the terrible one in the middle of Being a Good Wife, and then the one before the big boy that I always forget the name, Golden Hour.
But if you look at her from what is it? Same trailer, different park.
Oh, great stuff.
Into what is it? The pageant record. I can't remember what it was. It's like her and like the Southern pageant type thing, and then Golden Hour.
Golden Hour, she technically reinvented herself.
3 perfect records with Golden Hour truly being like a perfect record.
Absolutely.
And then comes out with the worst thing I've ever heard.
I did not like that record too, though. I'm with you.
I don't care about her marriage. I just do not care.
I saw Rustin Kelly live.
Yeah, Rustin Kelly.
But you're okay with a lot of the deeper
Rustin.
well
Rustin
stuff,
Kelly,
right?
Kelly Kapowski, Lakers in 5. I don't care.
Shonda Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. So, but the thing is her records before were so good. I gave the benefit of.
Were you okay with Deeper Well?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
At
Deeper
least I feel like it was trying to. Now that actually is a good thought.
What'd
I
you
feel
say?
like no.
I like Deeper Well.
Yeah, I like Deeper Well too, but I think that because of maybe the lack of in the record in between Golden Hour and Deeper Well, I think there's a reason why she went back chasing some of her Golden Hour vibes on Deeper Well. Like it's back to that like acoustic perfection. Like
I'll tell you why. The streaming numbers sucked.
Yep.
The record sales sucked. She got divorced, and
she quit smoking weed.
Oh well.
According to Deeper Well,
According to Deeper Well, she did.
she did.
She finally got the good book.
No, praise to Jesus. Hallelujah.
But okay, so relate that to the people that don't know Casey Musgraves. This is it's fine. I think Air for Free is a weak record.
I think, and I think that's kind of there's a consensus of people that would say that. I think.
But I know a lot of people that don't like Collapsible Lung, and I love that record.
Sure.
It was a very risky thing.
And I think that what we're talking about ultimately, even with me being like, I have your album and then I don't listen to any of the next 7 because I just can't get back to that vibe, is there's and this is like maybe deep, whatever, but there's it's like it's creativity, right? And when you are an artist, when you're creative and you're going through stuff, like if you look at songs that even we wrote at different times of life when we were dealing with relationships and like heartache and stuff like that, our songs we wrote differently. Some people really love that stuff that we wrote back then. Like they really connect with that, and they don't really love the new stuff. And I think it has less to do.
That is very true.
I think it has less to do with the sound. I mean, sure, maybe some, but less to do with the sound and more about like they connect with whatever whatever vein we were in then. Yeah. They connect with that.
Yep. There's still people that ask me about the pop.
Sure. Yeah. And I think the same thing with Casey. Like clearly she was going through some stuff, and so that album sucks for us because I wasn't in that. I'm sure that some people love that album.
I'm sure.
Name 4.
I can't name them, but they may exist.
There's no one.
But I think that that's true for every artist. That's true for every genre. Like there's something that you love. Like think about Kendrick. Like he's got some really good albums, but you would get in a heated debate trying to decide which one's the best.
What do you think about the thing that is Kendrick puts out a record, the Warriors win the title? Have you seen this?
I have seen that. I think you told me about that.
Bro, like every time Kendrick puts out a record, the Warriors win the NBA championship. Kendrick put out a record this year. The Warriors just got Jimmy Butler.
That's crazy.
Warriors in 5.
And
Steph Curry just dropped 56 points.
I just saw a thing today
12-3.
Apparently Jimmy Butler is like $267,000 behind on his rent after causing $100-some worth of damage to his apartment.
In Miami? Or
it came out today, yeah.
In Miami? Or
I think in Miami, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He ain't paying that.
He ain't going back.
Pat Riley.
Hey, can I make my Kendrick comment?
Yeah.
And I promise to make it brief. No, it's nothing crazy. But on the whole halftime show, I 100% am with you because one of the unique spaces that I think Kendrick takes up is I've never disliked rap, but he is one of the first rap artists that I saw him do like a Grammy performance, and I was like, oh my God, this is so much more than just music. I mean, there's a reason why he won a Pulitzer. Like, it's just like everything was brought to life from how the band played to the live arrangement versus the record arrangement. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to find Kendrick for the first time again. And it was the biggest opportunity for a lot of people to find Kendrick like a Richard or my father or my boss Jonathan. They're like, this is a little mid.
Honestly, if you'd have had a drummer, it would have made the difference.
Oh, dude.
But I love 3 white dudes talking about Kendrick on a podcast.
Yeah.
Because he's phenomenal, dude. It's so golly.
Really.
Oh my God, we made it so far. I've held back that joke so many times in this podcast.
I've said this before in other episodes. We're going to say something you're not going to like.
Where are we landing the plane, Dad?
All right, we're landing this plane in 20 years is a long time.
Maybe we shouldn't use that reference.
What reference?
Landing the plane.
There's been a lot of turmoil lately.
I'm just saying it may be insensitive.
When I flew here, Aaron was like, you should clap when the plane lands. I forgot.
I know. I think last time when me and Case flew to Nashville to see you guys, I think it was like 5 days after that big thing happened, and I was like, "Hey, don't think about it." And she's like, "Too late."
Oh yeah, because Josh was like, "I'm gonna just drive."
Josh was like, "I'm not flying," and then 2 days later, he's like, "I'm doing it. I'm flying."
I think where we're bringing this down at is 20. I don't know how to get it. 20 years is a long time to do something. And I think when we see these 20-year anniversaries come up, if it's your favorite band, even if it's an Amblin with a different singer, go. I think you should go to these shows because you don't know. You're lucky if you get to see that, because there's a lot of records that I'd love to see that we won't get the chance to see because the band doesn't exist anymore, or the band just doesn't want to do it.
People pass away.
They're mad at each other.
Literally, people
They're
die.
mad at each other. I mean, dude, oh my gosh.
But if you do go, get the nuts.
You need the Bavarian nuts.
I like, if I'm
Couldn't
honest, dude,
recommend more.
if we get the Reliant K 20-year record thing or 20-year anniversary, I'm not saying I'm going to be shocked, but I'm going to be a little surprised if they get it done. Like, just because Hoops is so busy. They both got things going on. Hoops is just so busy and them figuring things out. Like, if that happens, because 10 years was so special to me. I know you were there. We were all there. What's crazy is we've talked about this before. How many of our friends were in that room and we just didn't know them yet?
Yeah.
Like Rob Brzezinski was there and we just didn't know him yet.
Right.
So those moments, I think, become special if you get to go to those things. So even if it is with a different singer, or even if it is at a fest date, or like, because I saw Under Oath at Furnace Fest for their Only Chasing Safety, you got to go. Because if that album meant anything to you, showing back up for that band, showing them that meant something to you, I think that means a lot to them.
And hopefully you have more money than you did when you first fell in love with the band. And so you can not be stressed spending the money to go see it.
Or
now I
buying
feel
their
bad
merch.
about my $25 limit on Cartel.
Yeah, you should. You should feel bad.
I think you should be at $27.50. But what is that, pre-fees or post-fees? I guess that's
Pre-fees. I'll give you pre-fees.
Yeah, well, for free. Fees could be like $30.
Yeah, I mean, I'm buried in Ticketmaster fees right now.
We don't support Ticketmaster. What? I'm gonna get Elon on Ticketmaster.
I agree with you, Rye. I agree with you. I think there's a lot of things for me that, like, I'm like, man, I would like to see that, but I just don't want to go to a show. And sometimes I think I just need to go.
Yeah.
I think I need to go.
I think
go
it's
see
tough,
things.
especially for musicians, because everybody's just like, I don't know what it is. A lot of musicians just have this vibe, and I can't explain it because I know we all have this. There's just this weird feeling of like, I'm just kind of too cool to go to a show. I don't really want to go to a show. And the other part of it is like, you know, we don't live in the same city. We would go to a lot of the same shows if we lived in the same city.
Yeah, my thing is definitely
Jordan's
having
not gonna
people
go.
to go like with me, like finding somebody to go with, because yeah, I mean, Jordan doesn't care about a lot of this. She would go see Reliant K. There's a handful of bands that she would go see.
She'd
for
bring the
sure.
ice cream cup.
Yeah, now she likes Bavarian nuts too,
Pause.
but there's a
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't help it. There's a difference in having somebody to go with and just having to be like the old guy in the back. But for the ones that I've been to, there's a lot of old guys in the back. And
Yeah. Yep. And it's cool. Yeah, this is not I don't really have like a fun ending for us.
That's okay.
This 20-year thing's just been on my mind because there's a lot of 20 years coming. There's a lot of, I mean, honestly, if you look at the scope of it, we're just kind of getting started.
Yeah.
Because 2025 is good. 2026 is going to be good. 2027 is going to be nuts. Dude, if Paramore, let's end on this.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, I love it.
That's a big one. I
Will
would go.
Paramore
No, I
tour Riot?
I hope so. That'd be
Oh,
freaking sick.
What were you going to say?
this year's all we know, I think.
Okay. They're not, yeah. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they're not going to do it.
Yeah. There's too much drama there for them to.
Paramore to me does not feel like a.
But man, you see all those clips of Hayley Williams singing. I think she was with Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Oh,
She's perfect.
So good.
But she's
So
one
good.
of those people.
Man, I've watched those clips.
That doesn't care to appeal to their original fan base. To me, what?
Yeah, no, I agree.
They just don't give off the vibe that they like want to like. What are we laughing?
It's just Taylor says things a certain way sometimes.
They don't give off the vibe that they care about their original fan base. The people that they were trying to reach on the side stage at Warped Tour, they're not trying to reach anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that there's so much bad blood and stuff that's happened with them that I think, and this would be a whole other conversation we're not going to have. But I think that they don't want to. They don't want to go back there because there's too much stuff in the past that it's just easier to keep moving forward.
My brother, it would be great if this episode was sponsored by BetterHelp because we could get them some help.
Yeah, use code Whitsett at checkout for
Better me.
It's going to give you an error. It says this
Find
code
your
cannot be
beautiful
used.
online therapist.
Send us Venmo and we'll get you.
We'll get you straightened
We'll
We'll
out.
get you straightened out right now. But yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of albums that we're just not gonna get. We're not gonna get the anniversaries of for one various reason or another. So when you see those albums, when you see those anniversary tours come up, you should go. You should tell those bands that you want to see them. There's, a lot of fests like Furnace Fest are great about bringing back. Oh, I know what we're supposed to end on. But a lot of fests like Furnace Fest are really great about bringing back a lot of these bands to do these album plays. We are supposed to end on the Warped Tour flyer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna pop this up on the screen. We're gonna put up the low hanging thing for just a second.
Ryan,
I'll
do
pull it
you
up.
think that
You can talk.
bands would rather put together their anniversary record set and go play 3 festivals, or do you think they would rather do that and do their own tour? Do you think that there's a space where people sometimes just don't want to go do 40 dates, and they would just wish they could go do 3 or 4 festivals?
I think especially if you're
100%.
not a current touring act, if you've been out of the game and you're just kind of coming back reunion style.
I'm sending you guys this flyer to look at.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not looking at that.
I'm not taking a gander at it.
Um,
Did you send it on Instagram?
yeah.
You know,
Who
I haven't
does
opened
this?
Instagram messages since before Christmas Eve. Golly,
That's a personal
breaking my
problem.
rules.
Okay, so I'm looking
you
at
tagged
this
me in the
flyer.
story.
Where's
Thank
my
you.
bifocals?
Dude, that Dr. Bright hooked us up with the vibe behind us. That thing looks great in the picture. It looks great. Sorry, I'm
Shout
seeing
out.
what you tagged me, and I'm going to add it to my story right now live.
No, would you look at this flyer? Okay, so I'm looking at these bands. There's some great ones on here. Motion City Soundtrack.
Sure.
Ew.
What do you mean?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I was
I'm
like,
kidding.
bro.
So, hold on. Boys Like Girls. Does anybody listen to the new record?
No.
Holy God.
I've listened to some of it. It's really good.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love it.
Oh, we could side note for a small second here. You talk about people not.
How much is this?
You talk about people
More
not
than
having
25.
their original lineup. Bowling for Soup.
Oh, dude, that's...
Their original guitar player is not playing with him anymore due to health reasons.
Oh, no.
And they're just not replacing him. I want to say his name's Chris. They're not replacing him. They're just running. They don't run tracks. At least I don't think Jarrett runs tracks. How do you feel about that? I actually have a lot of respect for that.
It
Yeah,
doesn't bother
no,
me.
I think so. Yeah, I would be good giving a pass to that for sure.
Okay.
Avril Lavigne's playing this?
Avril Lavigne's playing. Is she real?
I was going to ask the same question.
Do you? I almost
Nope,
said
can't
chat.
do that.
We're getting
Do you
into
think
this.
Avril Lavigne is the real Avril Lavigne? Put that in the comments.
And if you don't know what that is, just...
Oh yeah, spend the night on TikTok figuring it out.
We the Kings?
Is Seosin with Reber or was it with? There's no way I can't see Anthony Green doing that.
God, Ring Pop is a great band name. I've never heard Ring Pop.
It's a
I don't
great
know who
band
that is, but what a cool
Oh,
band
I
name.
Am Avalanche. That's cool. That's Brett. Like the guy who mixes for us sometimes. That's
Yeah,
Brett.
he followed me on something the other day.
Oh, that's him?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Hidden in Plain View. That's cool. Friends there. Games we play. I've talked about games we play on the podcast before.
Since his fail.
Guys, We
I
the
would
Kings.
see Since
I'm
His Fail.
sorry, but I'm in.
For We the Kings.
And Red Suit's playing. Oh, Red
Wonder
Suit.
Years.
That's
Red
great.
Suit.
Red Suit. I hate that you
Dude,
heard it.
I would totally go see We Came. You want to talk about a 20-year record? I would be down to see. I know that their singer isn't alive anymore, but We Came as Romans doing To Plant a Seed. Did you like that record?
I No, I didn't. Well, I
didn't listen to
I'm
it.
saying no, not because I heard it and didn't like it. I just really wasn't a big We Came as Romans fan.
Oh my gosh, that
Same.
first record. to
Rob
me,
Borda was, though.
Oh yeah, me and Rob used to talk about that.
Sublime.
Knuckle Puck.
That's funny.
So here's my few takeaways from looking at this.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Oh yeah, there's multiple days with different bands. I forgot.
I didn't scroll. I thought that was all.
Oh my gosh.
Icy Stars, that's cool.
Some
So
of them
You
repeat.
used to love Icy
dude, if
Stars.
Icy Stars will play 3D or End of the World Party, I'm there. No question. Oh, I'm so there.
All American Rejects.
Hey.
Not going to see A Day to Remember. I don't like that.
No.
Oh, their new stuff. Oh,
They're like Total Radio.
oh, new stuff is
interesting.
bad. New stuff is real bad.
I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Wait, who did you just say before that, Ryan? You said somebody.
Icy Stars.
Oh, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. There's another one. It's okay.
So I'm looking at this, and here's what I'm.
Oh, All American Rejects.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry.
It's All American Rejects. Oh, okay.
Much more poppy in my brain.
Here's what I'm not seeing.
Go on.
Whitsett. I don't
fair.
see us.
Wow.
I don't see two things.
Oh, okay, so there's another.
I don't see bands that I think are the best at moving the genre. I think Games We Play is a great pick. But I'm looking at some of these new bands. There's one band that I really want to like say something, but I'm not trying to start no beef, but maybe we should.
No, don't.
There's one band on this flyer. If you want to do the deductive reasoning and figure it out, I can't stand this band. And they're all over social media. And to me, they look 50 years old. And they're a new band-ish. Like, I don't know. I can't stand the band. But they're not, to me, what, it, like, encompasses the vibe of, like... Remember we talked about on a previous episode of just there's some, like, magic piece that certain bands have that just feel like they're doing something versus feel like they're copying something?
Sure, yeah.
There's not many... There's maybe Games We Play, I think, would be the exception to this. I don't really see bands on here that are new bands that give that vibe to me. I can think of a lot of new bands that are much bigger than we are, much bigger numbers and stuff like. Taylor Acorn is a great example of an artist I think that is a large artist who is doing something that feels authentic and original.
Yeah, I was glad to see her name.
Wait, she's on here?
Yeah, the yellow slide down towards the bottom.
Oh, I see her. Right after Suffer Girl in 1056.
Yeah, they're in alphabetical order.
Wait, why am I not seeing her name?
Really?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah,
There it
about to
is.
say, look at the Expendables and then look up.
There's another band on this flyer that is a joke to me.
Golly, we're not trying to start Kendrick.
Is it
joke right
Yellow
now,
Card?
dude. No. It better not be
I know.
Yellow
I
Card.
I know. I love Yellow Card.
Me too.
But there's bands on here that. Have you ever heard of an industry?
Breath.
Have you ever heard of an industry plant?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
has.
There's a band on the yellow flyer. You figure it out. That is definitely an industry plant. I know for a fact, for a 100% fact, because they were nobody for a while. They had videos that did less views than ours, less everything than ours, and then all of the sudden, they're with a big agency. They're with massive Spotify playlist. Like they had the whole red carpet rolled out for them. I don't want to give any more detail to why I think so, because I think that would really single out the band. But that band is an industry plant to me.
I want to guess who it is. Do you want to guess too? I think we should guess.
Do you think that industry plants are decided by the deep state?
I think so.
I think it's QAnon.
What can we say to get this cut from the podcast?
If you say it, I'll bleep it out. Like if you guess it, I'll bleep it out.
I have no good guesses.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
fully
really
honest.
have a good guess either.
But if you guess it and you guess it right, I'll
Can you
Games we
tell us
play.
after we hit?
No, it's not Games We Play. That guy's awesome.
I don't know.
What's his name? Yemen? I don't know. I can't remember his name.
I'm not
It's just
sure.
the way.
I like Games We Play.
I love Games
I was
We
trying to think of people that I've heard you talk about before in any context. I would go see Better Lovers. I really like Better Lovers.
Oh, dude, they were awesome.
I also saw the main was on there.
Yeah,
That's
I love
kind of
Main.
Oh, the
awesome.
I used to
Main's
listen to
good.
Main a lot.
So, do you feel like this is how I wanted to close this?
Okay.
Do you feel like this encapsulates? How do you say it?
You better be careful.
Do you feel like
body
this
parts.
is the correct vibe for Warped Tour?
I honestly don't think that I think they half care about the vibe and who they bring in, because at the end of the day, it is a nostalgic festival, right? But I also think that they're going to do what they have to do to make sure tickets are sold.
To sell tickets. That's what I was going to say. And I think that they...
Because Live Nation is a part of it?
Yeah, well, no,
Oh.
just because I think that they just have to sell tickets.
Warped Tour used to be this place that was really good about bringing in like somebody. Kiss for Jersey, regional band,
Yeah.
played Warped Tour.
Yep.
Like they used to do that stuff really strong. I understand that it's only 3 dates this year, and I would be optimistic that they would be better about that in the future about doing that. This is all trial. I get that. But that used to be the thing that was like, again, I don't care if we play. I turn down shows for us more than we play.
Yeah.
Just because we don't care. We'd rather do this. We'd much rather do this.
We don't care.
Well,
at
I
all.
just think that their strategy is different this year specifically than it was in the past, and I think it's a little unfair to hold them to like what Warped Tour used to be, because it stopped, it ended.
Yeah.
And this is a different thing. Are they trying to bring it back? Maybe, but I also see the importance in like doing that with bands that people are going to come see, and trying to do like the new bands. I think.
Did you fart?
No, what was that
I
noise?
think that they're.
I heard the
I
noise.
heard a,
Oh, I didn't hear it. It was maybe my voice. Maybe I would be surprised.
That's why I looked at you real quick.
Because the gate on this microphone is so strong.
Sorry.
I'll turn
Sorry,
it off
sorry,
for the next one.
It was still open. Anyways, I just think that they're doing what they intend to do. I do think you're right. Warped Tour used to be that and used to be really good about that. I hope they will be in the future. I understand why maybe they're doing less of that this year with what this year is
It's
and
only
has
3.
to be.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. I think if you really want to go somewhere that like cares deeply about what the attendees want to see, and then also, bringing newer people into the game with opportunity. I mean, I can't say it enough. I think Furnace Fest does an amazing job of that personally.
best,
I think they really, really do. I have never seen anything like that in my life of allowing there to be, literally conversations with patrons, what they want to see, who they want to see, even down to like some of the funny things we've talked about of like, I would love to see this band with this person guest. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that's crazy. And everyone takes that into consideration. It's just different. So, but I think that's the difference between certain festivals, right? Some are, you're going to have to make money regardless, right? Like you have to make money, but some care more about hitting a goal of what money they want to make. And then some people, I think, want to make enough money to keep going on and enough to keep pouring into the future. But also I don't know how to describe that, but I think I'm saying it correctly.
I would just end this by saying I would not attend this.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to go in the first place.
Yeah, I never would have gone.
I would have gone. There's circumstances that would have got me to go. But
What are the 3 cities? Is it 3 cities?
Yeah, it's Orlando,
Boo.
Long Beach, and
Boo.
DC.
Big boo.
Orlando's cool. It probably should have been like Tampa, but Long Beach, I guess, is cool. DC, I don't understand, but maybe they have data that
Yeah,
we just
that's
don't have.
interesting.
But yeah, I overall, I low key think it's a miss, and it's kind of a bummer. The last thing I was gonna say on it is the other thing is there's no representation, unless I am missing it.
Are you talking about like of up and coming stuff?
No.
no?
Hold on, let me just quickly. I guess there's Lacey Strum.
I don't like that band name.
It's a girl. It's Flyleaf.
That makes sense now.
Yikes!
brother.
Imagine not knowing.
Imagine not knowing the names of Flyleaf
Well, really,
or
he just
Barlow
talked
Girl.
himself into being on this podcast. So,
Love you too. Thanks.
Memphis Mayflower. I mean, there's a handful, but I guess that's just the difference between now and them. There's just not a good representation of like up and coming or just Christian as a whole. And I looked at old Warped Tour, and there was. But to be fair, there was a lot of bands that were Christian that weren't really back then.
Different landscape.
Yeah.
But there's
it's
a
very
bunch of
different
good
landscape.
like rock Christian artists, punk, pop punk, whatever, emo that could have been on that bill that are bigger than us or whatever that would have been like that's dope. And there's none of that. And that's I don't know if that's slightly like alarming to me, but it's just something that caught my eye.
Yeah.
It's something that immediately caught my eye. I was like, that's interesting.
I don't know if it alarms me, honestly. I don't.
Oh, you don't think the world's going to hell in a handbasket?
No, I just held back through good jokes. I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. I'm honestly, and clearly it's because of the world I continually live in, working for a church still and, serving the local church. I'm trying to make sure I get that correct. I don't know. I get so tired of the whole label thing. I really, really do. I get so sick and tired of being like, if it's a Christian fest, being like, oh, are they believers? Like, I understand it to a degree. Hear me out. But I just don't care. That sounds awful, but I just genuinely do not care anymore.
That's fair.
I don't care. I mean, do you remember when we were making our decision of whether we wanted to move in this direction of, yes, we are going to be in this specific subset of this genre. Like, I probably was the one who asked the most questions. Like, are you sure? Let's make sure we don't do it for the sake of doing this. Let's make sure we don't do it because it's a market or this.
Right.
His brain is very analytical. I mean, and then you're creative analytical, and I don't know what I am. I have no idea.
Hello.
Hello. Come on. But I mean, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care because at the end of the day, what I know Christian label as being is button up, don't say anything stupid, don't do this, and not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just.
What did we get ourselves into?
Yeah, it's like I'm saying like I can't say that on this, but there's a difference from going to play certain places where there's a very specific standard of what you need to abide by, and then going to play somewhere with friends that it just feels more. I want natural. I've lived so much of my life kind of in a bubble of being respectful, and I will continue to be respectful. Did you just pop my bubble?
Pop it. Right here, live.
Well,
You heard it here first.
the bubbles have been popped.
Sorry, that's my rant.
Yeah. Go to a 20-year anniversary show.
Get some nuts.
Get some nuts.
some Bavarian
Let
nuts.
us know what you think about Warped Tour in the comments below. Let us know who was missing. Let us know what album you wish you could see for a 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Is it Skillet? No.
Could be.
Yeah.
Skillet sucks.
Just talk about stuff in the
You know,
comments,
if you
dude.
like Skillet, it's okay.
No,
it's fine.
Nope.
It's fine.
I actually really love it whenever we get to see comments. I love it when people actually chime in and give
What a
their
great
opinion.
comment.
What a great comment. I liked
Yeah.
it 3 times.
That's what
Bye.
I say.
Bye.
See ya.